In this video, I'm going to show you how to model this accent chair. The finished project file link is in the description. You can download it for free. So without further ado, let's get started modeling the chair. Okay, first we need to make the body part. So in order to do that, first I'm going to minus this and press A and delete everything. As you can see, we have empty space. Now we can add a plane and rotate it in the x90 direction. You can see, and press 1, grab it in the z direction. Now this is our reference. I use this reference as a guide. So you can see there is a taper defect. So in order to make that, first I'm gonna mirror this part. So in order to do that, first go to edit mode, or you can use the mirror modifier, but the auto mirror is a little bit simpler. So type in auto mirror. You can see I've enabled it. If you don't enable that, you can enable that. So and press N, and in edit auto mirror, and auto mirror in the x direction, you can see it is the previous point, so it will mirror in the x direction. So go to edit mode. Now press 2 and select this. I'm gonna disable this part. So select this edge and extrude it in the y direction. You can see we have get this shape. Now we need to make this a little bit up and make this curve part. So in order to do that, first select these edges and grab it in the z direction. You can see. Now let's check it by making a subdivision surface modifier. Now we need to get into that part and Control R, and the bottom part is a little bit flat. It is curved part, so I have added an edge loop to make it flat. So the next part is you need to add another edge loop around here and move it down by pressing Z. I can see we have made that tapered part. Now as you can see from this, this is a little bit sharp edge, so ours is not. So press 3 and select these edges, make it a little bit wider, a little bit wider. Now we are good to go. Now Control R, we can add this effect, this taper effect. Now we need to select these edges and rotate it about 10 degrees, and also select this edge, again rotate it 10 degrees. Go to side view by pressing 3, rotate it by 10 degrees, about 10 degrees, and also again this edge. As you can see from this edge, press 3 and rotate it 10 degrees. Now you can see we have get this tilting effect. So the next thing is we need to make a solidify modifier. So go to object mode and add a solidify modifier, and when I increase it, you can see it is a sharp edge. So we need the curved edges. So in order to make it curved edges, we need to select this and make it above the subdivision surface. Now we can see we have get these curved edges. When I increase this, you can see we have now the curved edges, and we can increase these edges. Now, as you can see from this, it is a little bit too narrow edge and too sharp edge, but in the image you can see it is a little bit relaxed edge. So in order to make it a relaxed edge, so Control R, make an edge loop around here and press 1 and select this edge, these edges, press 2 and select these edges, and GG to move it a little bit. Now you can see it has now make it relax a little bit, and also this edge by pressing GG. If you make it too wide, you can see it will avoid all the sharp edges. So in order to make a little bit, just make it around here. Now it is normal. Now the next thing is we need to apply the solidify modifier. There is a message, but we don't care about it because it is a solidify modifier. It doesn't make any problem. So we need to add Control R and add an edge loop around here. Now there is a mistake. It is a little bit too wide, so Control Z, all things. So let is, yeah, now it is normal. About 3.3, 0.37. About 0.37 is normal. Now we need to select this and apply it, and go to edge mode and select this. Now you can see we have made these parts. Now we are almost close. Now the next part is we need to shade it smooth. Now you can see there is a problem around this area. This problem is caused by when we have overlapping edges, so we need to disable this and go to edit mode and select these faces, and delay them. Now when we apply that, the problem is gone. Now we have made this part, but it is a little bit too long, so we need to select these faces. And move it up, grab it in the Z direction, and also these faces. Press shift and select these faces. Let's also select these faces. Select this face, grab it in the Z direction. Now we are good to go. You can see now we have made these parts. So in the next part we are gonna make these seat parts. In this part we are gonna model the seat parts, as you can see from this here, and also the leg parts. So first, as you can see from this image, there is a curved part a little bit, but ours don't have curved edges. So first I'm gonna enable my screencast on so that you can see what I'm doing. So press N and disable that, and in edit mode press 7 and toggle X-ray view and select these edges and grab it in the Y direction. Now you can see it is a little bit curved as an image. Now we need to add a cube to make the seat part and scale it in the Z direction and grab it in the Z. Press 7, grab it in the Y. I can see we need to match it to the seat part. Scale it in the X direction. Now we need to add a mirror modifier. To make it mirrored, I need to add with auto mirror. So auto mirror in the X. I can see we have added a mirror modifier and also a subdivision surface modifier. And we can Control R, add an edge loop around here, and Control R also around here. You can see now when we see from this, it is a little bit thinner or is a little bit thick, so we need to select this and scale it in the Z direction a little bit, or in edit mode press A and scale it in the Z direction a little bit, grab in the Z and increase the subdivision maybe to see the effect more. Now it looks fine, and grab in the Y direction a little bit, just a little bit, maybe, yeah, we are correct. So now in order to make the bottom part, we need to duplicate this by pressing Shift D in the Z direction. Now we can go to edit mode, Control R, now we can go to object mode and grab it in the Z direction, scale them in the Z, make it very little and grab it in the Z direction, and again grab it in the Z, and also grab it in the Z. Now you can see we have made it perfectly. Now the next part is we need to make the leg parts, but yeah, it is a little bit too tall, so scale it in the Z and grab it in the Z direction. Now you can see we have made this part correctly. Now we need to add the legs, so Shift A mesh, we need cylinder and add 16 vertices, and we need to select this and Shift H to hide everything and scale it down, Alt H, let's see, and select this object and scale it in the Z direction, and again scale it down, scale in the Z. Yeah, maybe this looks fine. Now Shift H and we need to select these edges. We need to select these edges and scale it up in 1.2, and select this edge, scale it down in 0.5, and we can also give it inset a little bit, again inset, and merge it as center, and to the bottom part also inset a little bit and inset again, merge it at center, and Control R, give it an edge loop around here to add a supporting edges, and also Control R and add about 3 or 4 edge loops to make it more even when we add a subdivision surface modifier. So Control R. Now we need to add first we need to select this and Alt H. Now press 1, grab it in the index, select the grab it in the X and rotate it a little bit, 3, grab it in the Y and rotate it a little bit also. Now we can Control A and all transformation. Now we can add a mirror modifier in all direction, in X and in the Y direction. You can see it is a little bit off, but we fix that now. So again, we need to add a subdivision surface modifier and add 2 edge loops, 2 levels of viewport, and shade it smooth. Now it is perfectly done. Now we need to apply the mirror modifier and select these edges by pressing L and grab it in the Y direction. Maybe rotate it a little bit. Yeah. Now as you can see from this, yeah, it is correct, I think. Now we have finished all the things. Now let's check if there is any distortion with matte cap and select this. Let's see it. So you can see from this it looks fine. So in the next part we are gonna texture, but before that let's see. This part is a little bit out, so we need to fix that. So first we need to change this to studio and select these edges, these faces, these objects, sorry, and press 3 and select this. And grab it in the Y direction a little bit. Grab in the Y. Now it's correct. Now we have finished modeling all the body parts. So in the next part, let's check first with matte cap. Now you can see it looks correct. So in the next part, we are gonna texture this model. I'll see you in the next part. So in this part, we are gonna texture this model. First, I'm gonna turn the screencast on and change this to studio. Now we are gonna select this and go to shader editor and change this to material preview and add a new material. Now I can plug my texture by pressing Ctrl Shift T and I've linked down this texture. You can download it. I'm gonna plug the normal, the roughness, and the color, and select principal setup. Now you can see the texture, but it is distorted. So in order to fix that, we don't do AUV unwrapping, so it is distorted. So we need to change this to object and change this to box, as you can see from here. Change all the maps to box. Now it is fixed, and also we need to add an ambient occlusion to make it more realistic. So Shift D and add it to the top. Now plug this into this. Now select an ambient occlusion and add a mix RGB, color mix RGB. Now we need to plug the ambient occlusion into color 2, the color into color 1, and the ambient occlusion into color 2, and change this to multiply and plug this into the base color. Now yeah, as you can see from this, it would give a little bit bump effect. So next we need to change the color of the fabric. So in order to do that, add a color round into the color and change this color into there is a good color I have found. It is E0A524. You can see it will give us this color, and maybe drag the black a little bit and this color into this a little bit. Now you can see it is drastically changing. Now we have set the body part. Now we need to select this and give it this material again and give it this material. Now for the legs we need to give it a new material and change the color to black, almost black, and change the roughness to about 0.355. yeah, now you can see we have finished all the things. You can see the texture is properly mapped. Now we need to light this up. First I'm gonna add an empty to control this parts, empty plane axis. Now let's select these parts and select the empty and control P, no, sorry, control P and object, keep transform. Now grab, press 1 and grab the empty up like this. You can see we can control the object by changing the empty position. Now shift A and add a plane and scale it up, and go to edit mode, select this, press 2 and select this edge and extrude it in the Z direction, and press A and scale it in the Y direction, and select this edge and control B to bevel it, and add more segments. Go to edit mode and shade smooth. Now we need to select the empty and rotate it in the Z direction. Press 1. Now you can see it rotated properly. Now we need to give it a new material and change the roughness to a little bit like this. Now we need to duplicate this material. This is our object, we need to duplicate it. Shift D and Shift Z to move it in the X and in the Y only, and Alt P, clear parent. Now grab it in the Z direction, press 1 and grab it in the Z a little bit, Now add another empty to control these objects and select this object and select the empty. Select the empty and control P. Keep transform. Now we can control this by this second empty. But we need, sorry, it is rotating in that direction, so rotate in the Z. Rotate it in the Z direction. Now we have finished setting up. Now we need to add a light, so in order to add light, area light, grab it in the Z direction and scale it up a little bit. Rotate Y 90, not rotate X 90. Grab it in the X direction, in the Y direction. Move it like this. And Shift D. Rotate Y 180 degree. And grab it in the Y again. And now we can add another light, area light, and grab it in the Z direction. Let's make this a 3-point lighting setup and give it a power of about 2250 and select this two and make this 1000. Select this also and make it 1000 watts. Now the next thing is let's go to render view, but first let's change this to cycles and GPU compute. Now let's render it. Yeah, it looks nice, but we need to move the light a little bit. Grabbing the eye a little bit this direction. Now if you render it, yeah, it looks good. Now we need to add a camera. Control Alt 0. Sorry, we didn't add a camera, so add a camera and select around this. Control Alt 0 and go to camera settings and adjust the head. Now we are good to go. And also, I think, where is it? I don't know, but there is a parafit distance, I think. I don't know, I forget it, where is it? But anyways, when we render this, you can see we get this nice render. So let's change the go to this a little bit, maybe the roughness 0.35, I think. Let's see in render view. Now that looks great. So this is how you model this chair. Thanks for watching. Bye.